Hey guys, it's Erin, and a few months ago I went on a trip to Chicago, and when I came back I did a community post here on YouTube and asked if you would be interested in another photo diary of my trip. Last fall, I did one when I went to the Chicago Botanical Gardens, and ironically, I'm in Chicago again for this one, but I've actually done completely different things from last time, and this one is more of an overall look at the trip instead of just one place. So it's the hotel, Wrigley Field, the Garfield Park Conservatory, Millennium Park, the Arlington Park racetrack, and a couple of other just little views and photos and stuff like that. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to have many more of these as the world starts traveling again, because I cannot wait to get out there and do some more traveling. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy it. So the first photo is just a quick picture from the airport in Chicago with some different countries' flags. This is the gorgeous view from my hotel, and it is really high up. The first room that I got was actually not very nice, and I don't typically complain about these types of things, but it was really bad. So they said they had another room, but it was on the 38th floor. And I'm actually pretty scared of heights, but I really wanted to move. And I'm glad that I did, because I got to see this absolutely gorgeous view the entire week I was there of the Riverwalk and lots of the other buildings downtown. The first full day that I was there, we went to Wrigley Field to see a Cubs game, and I had never been there before, so I was very excited to get to see an iconic field. And you can see that it's very beautiful. It was overcast, but a pretty nice day, and we sat in the bleachers, like the local section. So you can see in the middle of the screen something really funny, which is there were two sections of the bleachers, and they each were competing to make the bigger cup snake. So they took empty cups from people in the stands who were done drinking and strung all the cups together, and it was like a local competition. It was very funny. So yeah, there's just another view of the stadium. They lost by a lot, but it didn't matter to me. I was just there for the experience, and it was very fun and very beautiful. After the game, the public transportation was super packed. There were tons of lines. So instead of waiting on the platform for like 45 minutes, we just went up to a rooftop bar that looked over Wrigley Field and hung out. And then, of course, can't go to Chicago without getting deep dish pizza. So that was my late night hotel snack. And this is just a sunset look at the view from the hotel. I took pictures of the view, sunrise, sunset, and early, like middle of the day. The next day, we went to the Garfield Park Conservatory, which I was super excited about. If you've seen any of my previous travel videos, you'll know that I absolutely love botanical gardens, and anytime I travel, I always try to find some kind of botanical garden, conservatory, or area that houses different plants and flowers, and this is probably like my 5th or 6th garden. I was very excited. So I'm just going to show you a whole bunch of photos that I took while at the conservatory, like this plant. This has humongous leaves and was just really cool to see. There was a lot of different plants like this. They also had a desert room that had all kinds of dry weather plants, like this huge cactus and a tequila agave plant, which kind of looks like aloe but more fun, and some other little cacti, and yeah, there were so many desert plants. Cactus or cacti are somehow at the same time beautiful and terrifying, but it was really cool to see plants from a different area. I love this plant because it reminds me of fall, with all the different colors and transitioning from one color to the other, which I love. They also had this absolutely gorgeous and very intricate Moroccan style bath or like water basin. It was so pretty. And this plant, which I think has the biggest leaves I've ever seen. I don't know what it was, but the leaves are massive and they just keep going. I really, really loved this pink flower. I wish I knew what it was called, but unfortunately I don't, but it's very beautiful. They also had some water features, some water areas where there were tons of fish, and they were all different colors and sizes. There were a lot of them. They also had a large outdoor area that had some areas with lily pads and water features and walkways where you could kind of take a little path and look around. This is from the other side, the other view, and there were these little beautiful flowers in the water alongside the lily pads that were growing in the water. Here's another one of my favorite flowers that I took a photo of, and again, I don't know what it's called. I don't know what any of them are called, unfortunately. They also had this really pretty area outside that was shaped like a maze, and you could walk through it or around it, and it was just sort of like a design feature, I guess. They also had an area with lots of moss and like stuff close to the ground, and this one had so many cool colors of green in it. This huge room kind of looked like a giant greenhouse, and you could see lots of different fish and really pretty trees. I also met a turtle friend. His name is Nick the Quick. And then one more artsy style photo. I am not a professional photographer, but I'm super interested in photography and these types of pictures, I guess. And this is the end of the conservatory photos. Just a nice little water feature with rocks and plants and stuff. Right after that, I took the subway down to Millennium Park, and I have been to Millennium Park quite a few times, and it's just a really beautiful place. They have a fountain area with a bunch of names engraved on it of people who were involved in the park and raising money for it and things like that. And this is also where the famous reflective bean is, and the actual name of it is the Cloud Gate, but nobody actually calls it that. There's also a big amphitheater, well, not amphitheater, but big kind of grassy theater area where there's lots of concerts during the warm weather months. And then if you walk down quite a few blocks, there's this absolutely beautiful fountain. I believe it's called the Buckingham Fountain, and this fountain is famous. It's been in lots of TV shows and TV intros. There's like like statues around it and the skyline behind it, and it's a really, really pretty place to sit and enjoy. Then I did something I've never done before. I took an architecture boat tour, and that probably sounds super nerdy, but it was really cool. They took us all around the city through the waterways and showed us buildings and talked about who designed them, what style the building was, when it was built, and just facts about it. And it was really cool to see the buildings from the perspective of the water as opposed to walking down the street. And there were a lot of really unique buildings, like this one right here, which the architecture in this style is just really different than what I'm used to by me. It was kind of crazy. It almost kind of looked like the buildings were going to fall on you. Obviously they're not, but you're looking straight up at them. This was my favorite building. I love it. I love the design of it. And there's also a circular French restaurant at the top, but I do not like heights. And then we didn't realize this, but we were a quick walk to the Navy Pier. So that wasn't planned, but we walked down, and in addition to being really beautiful, it provided some amazing sunset shots of the city skyline. And that's just a picture of the Ferris wheel lit up at night. The last day we went to Arlington Park Racetrack, which is a horse racing track about a half hour outside of Chicago. I had never been there before, but I've been to many horse racing tracks. It's a very iconic place, and it's very beautiful and has amazing sculptured grounds. You can kind of just hang out in the grassy areas. You can watch the horses go around before they go out to actually race. And it was a really bittersweet part of the trip because we actually knew that there was a possibility that it would be the last time we would ever go, because at the time that we were there was like some bidding wars going on where somebody else might buy it and then it would be closed down. And since we have left, that actually did happen. So it is becoming a football stadium or something, which is pretty sad, but I'm glad to say that I went. And then this is a picture from very early in the morning before leaving to go board the airplane to go home, of the sunrise and my view. And then here's just a few pictures that I took from the plane on the way home. Like I said, I'm pretty into photography, so I like to just take pictures of everything. And yeah, so that was a little look at my most recent trip to Chicago. Hopefully I will have more trips in the near future, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day.